Hey, it's Kidtube Entertainment. I'm Jonah Keen, your host, and welcome back. This is the first episode of the Kidtube Entertainment podcast, the podcast all about new and upcoming children's YouTube channels, all things YouTube, all things kids. Let's jump straight into it. First off, what I wanted to talk about today was the Momo Challenge, a recent thing that has come back since last July. Momo is a Japanese statue which has been taken a picture of, and it's now being hidden in YouTube channels, trying to scare your kids, trying to make your kids cut themselves with razors, knives, other sharp objects as well. Now, I really am against this. I heard this on K-Love radio on my way to work about this, and I dug more deep into it, and I really am not happy with how things are going right now on YouTube. And that's why I kind of started this podcast. So, Momo Challenge is not necessarily a challenge. It's more of a challenge to keep your kids away from it. Gosh darn it. So, if this is all about parenting. Now, I have a son myself, and I always make sure he is being supervised while watching children's entertainment. Always make sure they're supervised. I like to sit with my son. We can watch some Carl and Ginger Family, some Carter Sharer, and I make sure that the content he watches is safe. I don't think YouTube is something that you can hand off to your kid and go run errands. I think he should be there with them, or choose something like Netflix or the Disney Channel or the Disney XD and leave your children with that, because you know that's safe. But leaving your children with YouTube is a whole nother story. Now, I found this article by let me see here, Luis Matakis on parents. Here's how to make YouTube kids safer. Now, if you really insist, on having your children watch YouTube, here's what you should do. Let's just read the interview and let's gain some knowledge. On Friday, a pediatrician and parenting blogger named Free H Nest published a post about a series of disturbing videos she found on YouTube Kids, a standalone app that is supposed to make it safer and simpler for those under 13 to browse videos online. Now, here's where I'm going to stop the article already. YouTube Kids is a broken app. It is not safe yet. It is still in process. So I don't think you should leave your kids to the YouTube Kids app for now. I'll let you know on a later podcast if I believe in it later. Now, a number of news outlets quickly picked up on the clips Hess discovered, which included one where Minecraft-inspired characters carry out a school shooting, and another, an animated girl with long brown hair, attempts to commit suicide after her dad dies and her boyfriend breaks up with her. This is absolutely terrible. These cartoons weren't created for YouTube Kids. They were uploaded to the main YouTube platform and later slipped past filters designed to keep inappropriate content away from minors. Some of the kids have racked up hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. Sorry, not some of the kids, some of the videos. We work to ensure the videos on YouTube Kids are family friendly and take feedback very seriously, YouTube said in a statement. We appreciate people drawing problematic content to our attention and make it possible for anyone to flag a video. So if you see a video that is inappropriate for your child and purposely misleading, make sure to flag the video. Parents, listen to me. Flag the video. Let's continue. Hess is far from the first parent to find alarming videos on YouTube Kids. Where the app was released in 2015, YouTube said parents could rest a little easier, knowing their children would be shown content appropriate for kids. But just 3 months after it launched, child consumer advocates complained to the Federal Trade Commission about potentially harmful YouTube Kids videos that depicted violence, suicide, and drug use. Again, don't trust YouTube Kids right off the bat. Give a child a TV show to watch. Give them a toy. Make them go outside. Don't leave them to YouTube Kids. But if you insist, listen to the podcast beforehand. Listen to every episode. 2 years later, a Medium post about the plethora of disturbing children's content on YouTube went viral, leading to a wave of media investigations, which often focused on YouTube's reliance on automated systems to moderate videos. Now, they're still not perfect. It is automated, and robots should not be trusted. So I insist that you watch YouTube with your child until the system is fixed. Let's continue. YouTube soon announced that content featuring inappropriate use of family characters, such as upsetting Peppa the Pig knockouts, would be age-restricted, meaning not permitted on YouTube Kids, and ineligible for advertising. In 2018, the company went further, introducing a new Trusted Channels feature where parents could choose from collections of curated videos that have been cherry-picked by YouTube Kids and its partners. That is a good step in the right direction. And you know what should be on the Trusted Channels feature? Me. So if you would like to hear me on the YouTube Kids app, make sure to trust me. Do the Trusted Channels feature. Use the Trusted Channels feature. Now, parents can also now restrict kids from watching anything other than the videos and channels they handpick themselves using the Trusted Channels feature. I think that's a very good step in the right direction, as I said earlier. It's these control settings, rather than the overall safety of YouTube Kids, that the company now emphasizes. We use a mix of filters, user feedback, and human reviewers to keep the viewed videos and YouTube Kids family friendly. The YouTube Kids landing page says, but no system is perfect, and inappropriate videos can slip through, says YouTube. YouTube then highlights the various parental features it offers. It's not clear whether it has had any of these settings enabled. When she published her blog post, has to not immediately return a request for comment. I think this is mighty interesting, if I say so myself. Let's continue on with the article. It takes a lot of effort to curate a space for your kid, says Jill Murphy, the editor-in-chief of Common Sense Media, a nonprofit that promotes safe technology for kids. But YouTube Kids can be a great and convenient way to keep kids entertained. It provides a needless source of educational content. Again, handpick it yourselves. Don't leave YouTube to your child. Anything could be on there. It provides a nearly endless source of educational content. If you're a parent considering using YouTube Kids or already have the app and worry about what your kids are seeing, here are the safety features you should know about. Alright. Parents, when you first download YouTube Kids, the app walks them through a tutorial explaining how it works, the options they have, and the kind of information YouTube collects. Okay. You should be prompted to choose whether they want their child to be able to explore all of YouTube Kids, where automated systems select content from the broader universe of videos on YouTube, or to be limited to channels that have been verified by YouTube. At multiple points in this process, the company admits it can't manually review all videos. Obviously, there are about 5 billion. There's probably 5 billion videos created per day on the YouTube platform. So you're going to run into issues, and that's why you should be with your kids while watching YouTube. I do not know how many times I could say this. It's all trolls. Some internet trolls are creating these Momo videos. Momo freaks. Troll freaks are creating these Momo videos. And they're taking advantage of parents who are just leaving their kids to YouTube. You need to be very, very careful. These troll punk losers. Let's continue with the article. Here's some additional controls you should know about YouTube Kids. Once YouTube Kids is up and running, tap the lock icon in the lower right corner of the app. You'll then be prompted to solve a math problem, which can later be replaced by a 4-digit passcode. So this math problem, if you're having trouble with it, in a later podcast I explain the math problem. So if you're having trouble with the math problem, we can easily solve it. Now first you want to create this passcode to protect kids from answering the question and altering their parental controls later. So If kids you need to solve that math problem before your children, or they will see Momo. They will see it. So you need to be careful. Once inside the settings menu, parents can set a timer which will lock the app when the allotted amount of time runs out, which means you can keep your kids from being on YouTube all day and kick them outside. They can learn how to ride a bike. They can learn how to swim. They can run around in the yard. Stuff I did as a kid. Let's continue. To change what content kids can access, tap their individual profiles. To alter these settings, parents need to enter the password for their Gmail account. Not the 4-digit passcode to limit kids to only human-curated videos. Turn off allow searching. Turn it off. I'm going to leave the... Do yourself a favor. Turn off allow searching. Your kids should not be searching anything. If they put a P and then they put an O and then put an R, no. Let YouTube do their work. With you involved, of course. Below the setting, parents can toggle the content level of the videos to those intended for younger or older audiences. Or they may switch to content only they approve. You can also pause watch history at the bottom of the screen, which stops YouTube Kids from using video views or search terms to recommend new videos to children. Personally, I would not pause watch history, especially if the kids watch something inappropriate. If you leave kids to this YouTube Kids app, you should not pause watch history. You should watch every video they watch so you know that they're not looking up somebody's ding-dong. Let's continue. If you do come across a disturbing video, you can block it, as well as the entire channel that distributed it, by tapping the 3 dots in the right corner. You can also report inappropriate clips to YouTube the same way, also known as flagging. Come on, parents, I'm yelling at you here, come on. Please, if you see something inappropriate, I'm begging you, block them, flag them, or else another parent will experience the same thing you did. And soon, all the kids on 34th Street are looking at ding-dongs. So please, flag and block these channels instead of just reading and writing your blog about it. Make sure to flag, sorry, my bad. Make sure to flag and block these videos and channels. It's not that hard for them to manipulate it. You don't have to be able to read. There are plenty of other issues to consider as well, like the amount of advertising and sponsored content parents are comfortable with their children consuming. But as long as parents are wise about it, there's little harm in letting children watch videos on YouTube Kids. All right. I kind of disagree. Now, parents, here are some channels that are very, very good for your children. These channels are fun. These channels are exciting, and these channels are kid-friendly 100% of the time. Now let me give you some examples. We have on my list Carter Scherer, Lizzie Scherer, Gage Scherer. Let me look at some more. Steven Scherer. That looks like those are all the Scherers. Carl and Ginger Family. Gage One Up. Kyle's Toys and Games. Chad Wild Clay. Gingerific. Rebecca Zemolo. Guava Juice. And it looks like there's a few more, but I'll leave that alone for now. Now, I'm going to be done with this interview. Thank you, Wired. Thank you, Luis Matakis, for that. Very, very, very thankful for that. Now, to our sponsor, YouTube Kids, the YouTube Kids that we just talked about. Thank you for sponsoring this first episode of Kidtube Entertainment Podcast. YouTube Kids, the app for child entertainment. Children's entertainment. Let's continue. Here's another thing that is going on in this YouTube era right now. PewDiePie versus TSeries. PewDiePie versus gosh darn TSeries. Now, if you didn't know, it's not a boxing match. Alright? It's not some battle of the bands. It's PewDiePie, who is a YouTuber with over 89 million subscribers. He has adult themes in his content. He curses sometimes. His most popular video says the B word in the title. Do not let your kids watch that. PewDiePie is the devil. Now, if you don't know who PewDiePie is, his name is Felix Kjellberg. And he is Swedish, and he does, it looks like, meme review. I don't know exactly what that is. But I do know that it is not appropriate for children. So if your child is watching PewDiePie and spreading PewDiePie propaganda, shut that down immediately. Shut that down. All right. Also, what we have here, TSeries. So we have PewDiePie versus TSeries. Now, TSeries is an Indian music brand. I've inspected their music closely, and I actually really enjoy it. It's Bollywood music, music videos, and so what makes these two channels want to battle each other, or versus? What does that mean? Well, they're the two highest subscribed YouTube channels in the YouTube platform. It is incredible. PewDiePie has 89 million, and it looks like TSeries also has 89 million, but TSeries is a little bit behind. Now, the community of PewDiePie, those Satanists, they are advertising PewDiePie. They are putting posters up. They are hacking printers. I saw that on the news a few weeks ago on CNN. Now, I'm not sure if I agree with what PewDiePie is doing and his fans. I really do not believe in what they're doing. It is just very disrespectful to TSeries, who've been working their hardest to become the #1 channel, and ignoring them straight up. I think it's satanic. I think PewDiePie should maybe give up, because he's been the most subscribed YouTuber for quite a while now. I'm sadly getting that PewDiePie is just not accepting other cultures. This Indian music company is being segregated against by PewDiePie's fans, and it is not okay. And if you think your child should be segregating against people of the Indian culture, well, you're just not right in the head. Back in the 1990s, Jim Crow was still a thing. African Americans were being segregated against. These African Americans were being segregated against by the white majority. And now PewDiePie is in the majority here on YouTube, and it looks like they're just segregating against Indian TSeries. It is not okay. I'd like to thank you all for listening. Thank you, YouTube Kids, for sponsoring this episode of Kidtube Entertainment. It has been an honor to host this first episode. I'm Jonah Keen. Thanks for watching. And cut.